Hey Starshine, how are you? I'm TK and today I will be watching YouTube. Hello, Tabari Vulgaire, Connie. Hello. I hope you are all having a fantabulous day. How is everybody doing today? Yes, it's a video reaction stream. Yay! I feel like I'm gonna watch a lot of Fallout stuff, New Vegas specifically. I am looking forward to Up Is Not Jump. I am absolutely looking forward to Up Is Not Jump. I love Up Is Not Jump. And I have seen the original New Vegas one, but I have not seen the DLC one. I specifically avoided watching the DLC one so I could watch it for the first time on stream. Starting another project, hopefully not nearly as complicated. Hey, it's the complicated ones that are fun! No, they're not. No, they're not. But they turn out so good. When it's complicated, it turns out really good. So, you know, it's a payoff. You're moving on Saturday? Ooh. You have pizza? You're moving and you have pizza? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Share your pizza. Share the pizza. I wanted pizza on Monday to celebrate Memorial Day. Because I ended up not going to my parents for their like regular barbecue because I just didn't feel very good. I decided to stay at home and I wanted to order pizza, but when I called, they were closed. I didn't know if they were like closed for Memorial Day or what, but it was weird because somebody picked up, so somebody was there, but they were like, we're closed right now. And I'm like, oh, okay, bye. I was like, oh no, but I wanted pizza. You giving me a slice this time? That's good. Yes, it's a video stream video. Chorizo and onion? I've never had chorizo on a pizza. I'd be willing to try it though. I love chorizo. I am a huge fan of chorizo. All I have to say is for that last one, I never thought I would get sick of looking at large booba in my life. Never! There is no such thing as being sick of looking at large booba. Yeah, Vulgaire, WTF. Ah! Already with the booze. We're already starting with the boobs. The booze. The boobs. We're talking about boobs, and now booze, and then... It's confusing. You have two more? Oh no. Oh no. You're gonna do it when I least expect it. Dude, boobs? Getting boobs just right in a drawing is kind of hard. You can also use Bane, and that one is even worse. I need to like pump up the volume of boo. It's just so it gets me even more. Like Bane does. Just noticed you have piercings. Yeah, I have so my ears, I have the two in the cartilage that you can see. The hoops on the cartilage. But I also have two in the lobe. And the first one is a star-shaped tunnel. Cause my ears are stretched to 00G. So yes, my ears are pierced. I love piercings. I want to get more piercings. I really want. I mean, I want like, I don't know. There's a lot of piercings I'd like. I kind of want a lip piercing or two, like maybe snake bites. I don't know. It's really, I don't know. I want more piercings, but I always wonder like, should I? And then I get hesitant, and then I don't get it. Thank you for the sub for 25 months, Silo. How are you doing, Silo? You don't usually chat, but I appreciate your subs. I appreciate any lurking. I love you. I love you so much. I know you don't chat too much, but it's good to see you. Uh-oh, Connie, what? Connie, what? Why you evil kitty smile? Connie, my evil kitty. Oh, that's not evil. Ah, get head patted. I love head pats. I genuinely love head pats though, like not just like in the like in the meme or whatever. I genuinely love head pats. Like in real life, if I am upset and somebody pats my head, I'm immediately like at least half as less upset because head pats really help make me feel good. I love head pats. They make me very happy. It's probably like when it comes to like I think holding hands and head patting are my favorite like ways of like physical touch for me. I really like head pats and holding hands. Those are my favorite. You proud you got the booba shine right? Yes. Booba shine important. Booba shine important. You also love head pats? It's because you're a kitty, Connie. Kitties love head pats. We love booba here. We do. We do. You're a kabiddy. Kabiddy. It's because you're a kabiddy. You love the head pats. I just want to say before I get started that today would have been Jebby's 2nd birthday. I am a little upset, but I think watching some videos with you guys will help me feel better. But I just want to say happy birthday to my Jebby. He would have been 2 today. Jebby, hello. He wants a tweetsy for his birthday. He wants a tweetsy for his birthday. Have all the tweetsies, Jebby. Yay. Yay. Alright, so I think we should go ahead and get into it. I have a playlist here from Connie, the lovely Connie. I don't know how many I'm gonna watch. I for sure want to watch the 2 Up Is Not Jump videos. For sure. But I might go over to I know Vulgaire posted in the reaction channel another Fallout New Vegas video, so maybe I just need to watch all the Fallout New Vegas videos. Well, let me see. So actually this one is we'll see. Let's just start with the Helldivers one because I've never played Helldivers. We'll have to see. We'll have to see if it's something I would be into because this is a review. We need to know. We need to know if it is good. All right, let me put the volume. Oh, volume's already down a little bit. Probably good. All right, let me know how the volume is.
This video contains many certifiable thought crimes. Helldivers 2 is an amazing co-op shooter that plays...
We watched a Maxer video before, right? I like his editing style. Oh, hey, look, it's No Man's Sky. I played some of that.
Exactly like No Man's Sky, except instead of exploring the cosmos, you die horribly in the Somme.
Yes.
Helldivers 2 is it is personalized. Joel wanted me to fight 10,000 fire ants. In a universe where humanity is beset on all sides by curious wildlife and the actual Terminators, Super Earth, the galaxy's last and only bastion of managed democracy, sends its finest men,
Wait, what
women,
happened
and
there?
children over 7 to liberate and spread freedom to the most horrifying hellscapes known to man, where war crimes are not only justified, but are necessary.
Oh no.
We play as the Helldivers, humanity's finest in emancipation.
Are they actually like in-game called the Helldivers?
There's no need to worry about that last one because we are incredibly expendable.
Oh no.
All across the galaxy,
yes, they are.
Enemies march ever closer, but through the power of teamwork, friendship, and 500-kilogram bombs, we will fight for freedom, for democracy, and most importantly,
basically Starship Troopers the game. I haven't seen Starship Troopers.
Dudes be like, Helldivers 2 is military propaganda. My brother in Christ. It worked. Triple the defense budget.
It worked. Actually, listen, I heard some people, so like clearly this game, I haven't played it, but clearly from what I've heard, is that this game is very much so, I think Starship Troopers is like this, is very much so like anti-military, but it does so by being like a satire of like super pro-military and whatnot. But there are people who took it very literally and didn't realize that it was a satire. Yeah, it's very satirical. People did not realize it was satire, and they were like praising it for being so like, yeah. It's people take it literally, yeah. And it's like, no, you missed the point. You missed the point. Super Earth! Dude, this is awesome. This is awesome. This song is sick.
The first thing you'll notice upon entering the SES Judge of Judgment is the
of
incredibly
Judgment.
stupid name. And yes, you are able to name it other things using the Wizard 101 naming
Oh,
scheme.
it's one of
Things like
those.
the Pride of Pride.
I like
Star
Pride
of
of
the
Pride.
Stars, Patriot
No!
of Patriotism,
Star of the Stars!
and my personal
Star of
favorite,
the Stars!
The founding father of family values.
A
Because this game has
C01
a lot of
permit?
violence in movies.
No.
Oh, here you see me depicted as the Soy Wojak. The second thing you'll notice upon entering the bridge is the ongoing galactic war, and that we are currently
It's a sex
fucking losing
permit?
the galactic war. Which
Excuse
is why
me?
we need to suit up with exactly 3 of our friends and choose which planet is in vital need of the democratic process. If you don't have any friends, then I hope you can speak good Mandarin. I think I did something to make him mad. But to win the Galactic War, we must first understand the Galactic War. We can ill afford another Malevelon Creek, which is why I'm going to go over each of the 2 fronts that are currently reducing us to
Wait,
smears.
what? The C01 permit must be filled out before any act that could result in a child. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Also, the song at the start is We Are the Helldivers by Jonathan Yun. Oh! And Ricad EB. I don't know Ricad EB, but I know Jonathan Yun. Yeah, the CO1 permit is canon in the Helldivers universe. Oh, I thought I took it very literally. Here I am insulting people for taking things literally. I thought you were talking about real life. I'm like, what are you talking about? Oh, and okay. In the game, it's canon. Okay. So, I mean, all of you wouldn't need that permit because you're not. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm so mean. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Across the galaxy, and I'm going to do it at difficulty 7 or above, which is coincidentally the perfect enlistment age.
I'm
On
doing
the
my
left-hand
part.
side of the political spectrum, we have the
I'm homosexual, so I don't need it regardless. Fair point. I guess if there's no result of a child.
Explosive ordnance. Oh, I'm out of here, guys, later. If that sounds a little bit intimidating, then don't worry. I haven't even gotten to the horde of angry chainsaws yet.
Chainsaw Man!
Goes in the video here, but talking about the automaton front is never complete.
No sex, only democracy.
The fucking Creek, or as it is known by our honored veterans, Space Vietnam. This goddamn planet has been single-handedly responsible for most of our casualties.
Wee! Oh.
Is this SpongeBob? And that is
My leg.
genuinely impressive considering that 10 million men have already died in the Battle of the Madagascar Lemur. Those are considered rookie numbers, and we're
Okay.
already outpacing the Taiping Rebellion. In fact, every single military operation we conduct is in some way related to Malevelon Creek. And personally, I don't really see what all the hype is about. After all, it's just one planet. How important could one planet
How
possibly
important?
be?
I am a human supremacist! I am a human supremacist! Our supremacy will not end on this planet! We will go interdimensional. We will unlock the secrets of the universe. God has laid them out like Christmas presents for the
Bootcamp's got fucking weird
What?
recently.
Is that Alex
Malevolon
Jones?
is by extension, the rest of the front is essentially an exercise in how much PTSD one man can possibly get. Their firepower
All
is
the
so
PTSD
overwhelming, so
must go for a while, but
absolutely
maybe I'm
constant
sending
that
this message
describing
as
it
some
an
part
endless
of
retreat
bookmark
where
for when I
you
watch
accidentally
the
accomplish
VOD.
all of your objectives
Good point.
would be very generous, as it implies
Good
that I
good
give you
idea.
guys
Fucking shit.
This can occasionally push you into what we call unfortunate tactical positions, at which point your main options for survival are going to be watching your slower friends get burned to death in the main.
The slower friends must be
I will
sacrificed.
never unhear that scream. So yes, this planet may be what economists call bad use of our human capital, but after dealing with several days of what I can only describe as angry forklift decommissioning. Oh shit, this motherfucker's not OSHA certified. You really need a step ladder for that, sir. Okay, call me crazy, but I think there's a turret around this corner, guys.
Yep.
I
No, it
fucking
was
hate
right
the
there.
creek. I can safely say that the
Fun fact,
attachment
that was the
has become
VTuber
fucking
Bao
personal.
screaming.
And honestly,
In
I
TKM, naming
just
your
wanna
ship
see
the
how many
founding
bombs
father
we're
of
planting.
family
We
values.
lost Vietnam. We lost
Oh my
Afghanistan.
gosh, that's
And
so
yes,
cringe.
We definitely lost America. So goddammit, I am not going to lose this shit to ones and zeros. God gave this galaxy to a non-binary species, and service guarantees
I like
gender
the Star
affirmation.
of Stars, that's
Fun
mine.
facts about the bot front. Number 10. Man urinates on fellow passenger
What?
for not being allowed to smoke. Number
What?
9. If you happen to make the mistake of fighting here, you're quickly going to realize that most of our forces are Chinese.
He also cast
Each
Iron
one
Mouse
taking
as a
glorious
Satanist
revenge
in
to steal
another
rights they
video.
work in. Very auspicious
That's great.
behavior. And conversely, we Guilo have been sent by our barbarian prince to fight the hordes of angry roaches. For it is the God-given right of the defense lobby to remind the bugs that it is man who is made in God's image. Really can't wait to die on fucking legally distinct Clendathu.
Legally
The Turbid front.
distinct.
Sorry. The turbided population problem is a wide assortment of increasingly horrifying demons, each one abandoned by their creators in completely different ways. My guy's got a bad case of the rigor mortis.
Oh, goodbye,
We've got small
goodbye.
bugs, big bugs, immortal
Big
bugs,
bugs, all the
that function
bugs.
as artillery, and of course, the bugs that stalk you at night. Thankfully
Oh,
for us,
no.
though, napalm is an equal opportunity employer.
Napalm
And,
is
a
perfect
lot of
for
positions are
every
open right
game
now.
that has like
That is to
giant
say,
bugs. You
once
gotta
start
use the
fighting
napalm.
bugs, you do not stop for about 40 minutes or
Burn
so.
the bugs.
Because they just spawned a battalion from the ground like a goddamn Viet Cong for the 3rd time in a row. And I do not have enough raid for this shit. Good fucking throw, dude. I just want to walk to the
Your
McDonald's,
package,
guys.
sir.
I'm just a level 1 goblin. It's literally my birthday. I'm a little birthday boy.
I'm a little
And you
birthday
wanna know
boy.
the
That's
worst part about this
Jebby.
war? We don't really know how they move between planets. And I don't think they have what you would call a plan. Rather,
Oh, no.
the Turbidid simply
Oh, look at that
appear
fat
in places
guy.
they
He
wish to
looks like he would
eviscerate.
explode when you kill
Kind of
him.
like a Whole Foods. So,
He
you
was
can
so
imagine my shock
chonky.
when I learned that those white bitches
Oh.
were trying to gentrify the moon. They are ruining the amazing local
Look,
culture
he's
of,
chonky. He's gonna explode in the guts.
California.
White
I hope
phosphorus.
it's
If you
becoming
really want to
obvious
commit
that
war
fighting
crimes,
these things under
war crimes are
normal
necessary in
circumstances
this game.
is
That's
we
what
call
Maxer
same-day
said.
shipping to God. What the fuck? Fortunately for us, though, we have access to a wide variety of unique and hilarious tools, which are only accessible via inputting a series of hand signs, informally known as airstrike jutsu. Bigger airstrikes,
First DDR, then
biggest airstrike the engine
ninjutsu.
can sustain, or airstrikes that specialize in killing everything except the enemy. There are
Oh, no.
so many bad guys with so much damage to be done that the most challenging part is keeping your team out of the blast radius.
I got 500 kilograms ready.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
Fucking done. And yes,
Oh,
you do
no.
have to throw them.
What
which
have
means
you
you can
fucking
drop
done?
them, throw the wrong asset, and even attach them to enemies that are running into you.
Oh no.
My personal favorite
This is why-
combination is definitely the
When I play video games, I almost never use like explosives. One, because I feel like they're such a hot commodity and you like get so few of them that I feel like I have to save them. You know how it is, like you're like, oh, I'm gonna save these items for when you I'm gonna save these items for when I need them, and then you end up never using them. That's what I do with bombs. And also, I'm just really bad at aiming bombs, and I usually injure myself instead, so I just don't use bombs.
napalm and chlorine gas for when you really, really want your enemies to feel pain.
Yes.
Inside and out. We also offer a gluten-free variety.
Gluten-free?
Now, of course, airstrikes aren't the only thing we can deliver. Just most of them, because here
I
at the
love
defense department,
I love
we take
him
care
just
to
standing
provide-
there like T-posing.
to provide
Assert
why
his
did I say words?
dominance.
A wide array of support tools, and by support tools, I mean the machine gun, which are crucial and necessary for fighting literally anything. We've got
literally.
flamethrowers,
Oh my
jetpacks,
gosh, what was
automatic
that thing?
lasers that demand human sacrifice. Average American police taser.
Like
with
for you, most of the
unlimited ammo, automatic
stratagems
targeting,
are
and a vendetta
unlimited,
against
albeit have a
terrorists.
cooldown.
For when
Okay.
you really hate everything in a general direction. Railguns that encourage
Tony
you to
Stark
fire volleys
pose.
like Napoleonic line infantry. It also has 2 fire modes called safe mode and unsafe mode.
I love
And, of course,
unsafe
the,
mode.
giant death robots that randomly explode sometimes.
Whee!
That is the last time I buy a fucking Tesla. My personal favorite strategy involves everyone giving their mechs to the designated disabled man, who will proceed to stay inside of 6 different wheelchairs for 40 minutes. And as a caveat, we force him to crawl on the ground
Oh
between
no.
mechs
Oh
for
no.
immersion reasons.
What?
But honestly, all of these fantastic tools absolutely pale in
Immersion
comparison to the fast
reasons.
and convenient resupply of Gamer Sup's energy drinks, here to
Gamer
give you a fantastic
Supps!
boost to your gaming abilities, which, if you want to win this battle, I will now expect of you. We and the Chinese are not going to be taking back our
That
stone
reminds me. I remember saying before I would never take a Gamer Supps. I wouldn't take a Gamer Supps. Sponsorship because they use erythritol, and erythritol causes heart problems. I learned that that was a lie. Or rather, my husband overreacting. Because apparently there was one study that showed that maybe there is a correlation between erythritol and heart problems, but that's not the same as a causation, and they can't really be certain yet if... Is G Fuel still bad though because they contain too much lead? Oh no. TK get in the mech. No! I don't wanna!
on 8 hours of sleep. But they did also release a sleep aid. In case somebody gives you too much energy. How am I getting away with this shit? Gamer Supps comes in many different flavors, such as...
It looks like Gamer Supps is back on the menu.
And good. It's
Getting the
it's
Gundam
just
now.
good, all at the low price of 40 cents per stratagem, which is literally cheaper than the dirt I am dying over. I went to Amazon and checked. So
Am I crazy? I swear that at some point, I mean, I'm not gonna find it. I swear at some point I saw hamster.
Literally cheaper than the dirt I am dying over.
I swear I saw hamster for a split second. I saw hamster.
Cheaper than the dirt I am dying over.
Oh, it was hamper, not hamster. I'm not hamster obsessed. I thought it said hamster, but it said hamper. Hamster. Just put a T in there. It's hamster.
I went to Amazon and checked. So if you are still watching this video
Hamster.
somehow, and God bless you if you are, you can have Gamer Supps delivered with 10% off by opening the description and clicking the special stratagem code. What else do we have? We have sentry guns.
You know what? I
in case
probably
you
felt
really
sick
don't
on
wanna play
Monday
the game,
because I was
as well
drinking
as a
like energy
strange
drinks
amount of primaries
nonstop
that
the whole
are
weekend.
child safe. Can't wait for the devs to nerf this one and say some shit like, sorry, Helldivers, Command sent us rigatoni instead of railgun shells. Now, in this kind of environment with this many fireworks, casualties are not just expected.
We just want to tickle you.
You don't really get to 12 million by being an easy game,
Hamster
which is
brain.
why, upon
Because I'm a
the occurrence
hamster
of
girl.
my teammate's tragic passing, I will gain the
Tony
ability
Stark
to
pose.
replace my friends with a legally distinct Helldiver.
You
ready
can
to fight and
hug?
die for
Okay, 10 out of 10 game, you can hug. 10 out of 10 game, you can hug.
worst planets you have ever seen. Like my brother in Christ, you are fighting over the Arizona iced tea world. Missions in this game are usually
Arizona
comprised of
iced tea
exploring new
world.
and fantastic worlds, and then building a Walmart supercenter on them. Local residents be damned. To that end, we have a great diversity of missions, like geological surveys, rescuing civilians who move their heads like confused avians, chicken, spreading industrial amounts of carcinogenic gas, and launching the fucking nuclear missile. We did it, Patrick. We saved Istanu.
You can
along
hug
with
and
a
it is
myriad of side
strategically
objectives,
preferable
which
sometimes.
usually boil down to,
Really?
killing everything that moves. And occasionally, loading a gun that will do it for you.
The mechanic of the
don't
big
really talk about the eradicate missions
the big-
because they tend to
I
play
have
themselves.
one.
All in service
If
to
one
liberate
of
a
the
planet
big
by an
of the
astounding
oh my gosh.
0.00003%.
If one of the teammates has a shield pack, you can
This
hug
isn't a
them
fucking
and
charity,
also be
alright?
protected by the
Reach
shield. That's
100%
great.
liberation and lose all of it the very next day. I am currently reporting to you from the 5th Siege of Hellfire. Planets and Helldivers also have a unique blend of beautiful environments. Like
Yeah, this
the
game
Heaven
looks
planet,
really good.
Where it is impossible to escape God's light. The constant meteor storm planet, where it is illegal to stand still. The fire tornado planet.
I like fire
tornado. Weird fucking animal planet. I'm going to call you Genghis Shingles Ringer, and the planet that, before it was removed from the game, randomized your airstrikes, which
Oh, no.
made the process of calling a resupply much more interesting. Please put this back in the game. Look, Helldivers is a game that gives you a lot of tools, and a lot of places to use them. So honestly, the task of describing it all to you is, not my fucking job. The developers are literally adding things faster than I can show them to you.
That's good.
I began
I
making
like
this
that.
video before mechs existed. So inevitably, when the day comes that Arrowhead adds the secret third faction that we don't legally know anything about, I guess I'll be
It's
making
the
a video about it. As long as
the
this one gets views.
LGM, the little green men.
Overall, Helldivers 2 is an
From
absolute
Buzz
chaotic mess,
from Buzz
where every
Lightly
mission
from
begins
Toy
and ends
Story.
with the assumption that we are not going to make it, and yet somehow, some way, I still find a way to disappoint my friends. Some may consider it difficult, while others may consider it
Illuminati.
fucking bullshit. But personally, surviving against all odds in the face of complete, absolute absurdity is a big reason that I still love this game. No matter how many game-breaking bugs they introduce. Sorry, Helldivers. This
They
gun's
might be
accuracy
adding
rating is
Jeeps
so
to the
high
game.
that it causes integer overflow.
Beep,
And
beep,
with
I'm
the
a Jeep.
Galactic War still ongoing, our story
They
of
are
spreading
adding
managed
Jeeps.
democracy
Beep, beep,
has
I'm a Jeep.
only just begun. We have the
Genocide.
ships. We have the weapons. We need soldiers. Soldiers like the angry Chinese guy. Service guarantees
He is
affordable
very
healthcare.
angry.
They'll keep fighting, and they'll win. As long as the bug front plays the game today. On a more personal note, the Ministry of Truth extends its gratitude to all of its very kind patrons, enabling and financing
He's
our
so
propaganda on
cute.
a truly galactic
I kind of
scale.
miss playing No
Your
Man's
money is
Sky.
being
It's been
put
a
to
while.
excellent use, making only the funniest and most original content. Anyways, time to report to my execution now.
That game looks insane. I don't know if I could manage playing it. I know part of it is Maxer's editing, but it just seems very chaotic, and I don't know if I can handle chaotic like that. I've played it. There's lower difficulty settings. Yay! Up is not jump. I love up is not jump. He was playing exclusively on the top 3
I've been out
difficulties.
in the wasteland for weeks. I'm not feeling too good.
He's
Not
got
good.
a switch
How's it going?
strapped to his
I
arm.
better check on my health, make sure I'm doing all right. Could be better, could be worse. If only I
Yeah.
had some kind of vault I could go into. No, not you, Vault 22.
No,
Wait, no,
not
I
that
have
one.
The perfect solution.
I've made this Vault-themed Absolute Nightmare box set, featuring
Yay.
a 64GB USB drive
Buy
with over
it.
3.5 hours of extra videos by me, including a full
I was
Absolute
really
Nightmare
tempted to
review
get
of the
it
Resident
when
Evil
I
4
don't know if
remake,
it's
as
still
well as 8
available.
other
Probably
full
not,
videos.
but
there's also a cap stash
I was
featuring
really
10
tempted to
different
get
Up Is
it.
Not Jump themed caps. You can also win loads of
Easy,
prizes like
medium,
one of 10
and
signed
challenging
props
are
from
the
one of my
nicer
videos, a piece
difficulties.
of my original Vive, and much more. The box also
Those are the
includes a
nice.
sticker sheet, a
Challenging is
poster, a temporary
nicer.
tattoo,
It's still
3 comedy
available. Oh
recipe
my
cards,
gosh.
3 enamel pins,
I'm so
and a
broke right
40-page
now. I
glow-in-the-dark,
can't.
fully illustrated
can't.
booklet written entirely by me. We really gave this our all this year to make this box set as high quality as we could. So if you're interested, go to pixelempire.com/upisnotjump.
Linked below so you can see it in more
Trivial is the
detail.
lowest
Now,
difficulty.
on with the main video.
Okay.
Fallout 3, contrary to what I may have said in the
Really?
earlier
No.
review of it, Fallout 3 quickly becomes this perfect Mobius strip of bullshit. Is and always has been one of my favorite games of all time. I actually remember reading a review of it on GameSpot and being outraged that they only gave it a 9 9 out of 10. Years later, I of course discovered H-Bomber Guy's somewhat negative review of Fallout 3. Dressed in my patented Vault suit with my Pip-Boy, Fallout laser rifle, and Fallout beer, I clicked on the video. I wasn't ready to disagree with everything in the video. Instead, over the course of a full hour and a half, took everything I loved about Fallout 3 and convinced me it was bad. No, not really, but it did make me see that although Fallout 3 was great, it was not by any means perfect. The setting, tone, and side quests were all on point, but the story, pacing, and difficulty of the game could have all been so much better. So here Fallout 3 sat, a great game that fell short of being incredible. If only Bethesda, who owned the intellectual property to the Fallout franchise, would contract a company like Obsidian, made up of the original writers and designers of the first games, to make a follow-up to Fallout 3 so they could finally reclaim their mantle and create the perfect 3D Fallout game.
Well.
Well, Fallout New Vegas! It's not a nightmare!
I remember in my last major Fallout video, I was kidnapped by my cat. Well, I'm actually worried it's going to happen again, so excuse me for 1 second.
I'm feeling strangely docile today. You've made a big mistake, human.
So my story begins in late 2010 when Fallout New Vegas had just come out. I went over to my friend's house while we were living at university to hang out, and he was playing it.
Hey, man. Ooh, what are you playing? Fallout New Vegas. It's a bit shit. Bethesda didn't even make it. Oh, that's a shame.
How dare you?
Should we get a drink?
Jesus Christ, this was like tuning into genuine proof of alien life and turning it off and stepping outside to live a life fulfilled. Seriously, if you think this is alien life, you're the one that needs an x-ray to find whatever it is that's pushing down on the logical reasoning part of your brain. Following this enormous blunder,
I just want aliens to be real, okay?
Playing Fallout New Vegas and instead chasing women. Unsuccessfully, of course. I mean, look at me. I look like David Bowie crossed with the annoying orange. Then in around 2015, I loaded up my Xbox 360 and saw that Fallout New Vegas had been released for Xbox Game Pass. And this just meant I could play it for free. And I thought, okay, yeah, sure. Maybe now it was worth a go.
Of course.
And so here's where I thought it'd be fun to give a very quick running narrative of the very first time I played
Yeah,
Fallout New
I
Vegas,
like the
focusing
vault
on the
suits in
most
3 in New
notable
Vegas
scenes.
are like
So,
leather
Luna,
and
what are you
denim
doing?
kind of
I have built a
vibes.
radio device. Help is on the way.
And I like that
Oh,
better
is she
than the
gonna
like
call? Run the clips.
Okay, here we go.
latex
This
suits.
opening is pretty boring, and this first quest is really slow. What, we're here at another town with almost nothing in it. Ugh. All right, this is getting pretty interesting. Oh my God, what has happened here? Yeah, okay,
Took you
this
3
game is
hours to
pretty
get-
cool. No. This game is great. Oh my God, I'm playing the best game ever made. What? How is this possible? And I got it for free.
Actually,
This is
fun fact. Okay, so here, always kill Lopez. I didn't when I first played. I was very intimidated by him. But yeah, you should. Fun fact. So I used to play a lot of VR chat. And it was through VR chat that I met my husband, and I had a friend group where I was called Mom. Like everyone called me Mom. I was the motherly figure because I was like the oldest along with my husband. We were both the oldest. And so all the younger people in the group would call me Mom. And so for Mother's Day, my husband bought me Fallout New Vegas as a Mother's Day gift because he said it was like his favorite game ever. And this was before we were dating. And then it wasn't until after we were married, though, that I actually finally played it and I really liked it. But yes, it was a Mother's Day gift. Simply murder him. Killing Vulpes has 0 downsides. Yeah. They look really cool when they partially drip down and the sleeves rolled up. Heck yeah.
Stephen King offering out a free lamb shank with every copy of The Shawshank Redemption. But why is Fallout New Vegas so good? Well, I'm gonna gush
It's so
hard,
good.
sit back, relax, and pull out an umbrella to stem the tide of fanboy splashback.
So someone has contacted Cats Protection, and apparently it's illegal to entrap cats in cardboard boxes. So I'm just gonna have to let her out before we continue with the video. All right.
It is
then.
absolutely
Out you come.
illegal.
Oh no.
I love it. Yes, cowboy vibes. Yeah, this game was only made in 18 months. That's wild. It's kind of like
Human. It was me.
I'm gonna. I think I talked about this with my husband. It's kind of similar to Majora's Mask, in my opinion, in that it's kind of like it was made in a short amount of time, reusing a lot of assets from the previous game, but has become like a cult classic and is like some of people's like favorite game in the series. Like it's my favorite game in New Vegas and Majora's Mask. I love them both. They're probably my favorite in each of the series, honestly. I love them both. Did you know that they cut Ulysses from the base game because he had too many voice lines? Yes, I knew that.
You did all of this? But why?
You've put off reviewing New Vegas for years. I've locked you in this room to make sure you finally do it.
Heck yeah.
Luna, out.
I love Luna!
Well, I do hate being held captive.
And I love Luna.
So the game begins with Chandler from Friends laying down some serious...
Majora's Mask was made on a bet. Was it really?
People without looking them in the face. But I ain't a fink. Dig.
Dig.
What's the language in this game?
So the character
Oh.
is a courier here, and we're trying to deliver that platinum chip. And this guy, Benny, steals it and then shoots me in the head. Fortunately, though, this gunshot doesn't kill us, and we wake up in a doctor's office in the town of
The game was rigged from the start. He didn't have that line in the
A
video.
million fucking messages.
Okay, thanks. Got it. Yep, good.
Yep,
Great.
this-
Amazing. Meet the town's inhabitants and learn about the
When you
things
have all the
that happen.
DLC.
And depending on how you look at this part of the game, it's either one of the best openings of all
Woo.
time, or honestly quite bad. Let's discuss.
Hardly anyone I know has played this game, and the people I do know who have played it gave up.
I kind of wish we had the option to work with Benny after finding out his plan. Yeah, that's something I've heard before, people suggesting, and it would have been interesting. I mean, I did the Yes Man ending, so maybe I would have. No, you know what? The first time I played, I like immediately killed Benny. I wanted my revenge. I always do. If you're playing a lady character, you gotta always do the Black Widow, and then
Speaking of nuclear,
kill
I
him
may have
that
had
way.
A small bit of that drink.
Fallout New Vegas does, of course, have great set pieces like these, but it takes a while for them to trickle
I
in.
love the
And thus,
Keens.
the game fails to grab the player's attention right away. I think it's fair to say then that New Vegas's opening is a bit of a failure. No, I can't do this anymore. Are you all mad? This opening may be a bit unsmexy pace-wise, but in terms of its design, it's an absolute delight. It manages to convey exactly what New Vegas is going to be like overall.
I think
as
it's a
game,
good
but it does it all
beginning.
within the confines
It's
of
really good at
one
introducing
town.
everything.
Listen.
You wake up and you find that Good Springs is about to be attacked by a group called the Powder Gangers. But they don't just turn up right away and fight you. No. It begins with you witnessing the leader of the town and the leader of the Powder Gangers arguing. And from here, you formulate a plan of how you're going to help.
I
The
love
outcome
Sunny
of your plan, though,
Smiles.
is entirely dependent on the character you just finished designing. If you chose high speech, you can.
I
convince
went-
the
I went
town
high
to
speech
join
and
you. High
charisma.
barter, and you can convince the town's shopkeep to give you extra supplies.
I'm a
High
very-
explosives, Easy Pete will trust you with
I'm a very
explosives, and
talk my
survival
way
will do
out of
absolutely
things kind of
nothing because
person.
it's utter shite.
Skills in this game constantly change the way that you interact with characters and the game world, and the opening makes sure you
Charisma's
understand
useless
this
speech
right
is god
away.
tier.
But even more
I
important
think
is
I
while
went high
exploring the
charisma
town
because I
and
thought
your
that
big
charisma
gun
would
skills,
increase my
you
speech.
learn all about the Powder Gangers. They quickly stop being some faceless group of raiders, and you learn all about their history, their goals, why they have such a dumb name. You can even speak to their leader at length and ask him loads of questions before the final fight happens. See, what Fallout New Vegas nails every time, and why I think it's so good, is that it provides the player with a constant stream of context. Oh, well.
I'll take 5 copies then. No. 10. 84, generally favourable. Nah, 110 out of 100 provides context.
And I know it sounds a bit naff, but Fallout New Vegas almost always makes sure you understand a faction before you make the decisions.
It's
to help
true,
your
and all the
opponent.
factions
And
are
it
so
usually does this by making you
complicated,
get
and
to
I
know
love that.
individual people from within the factions really well. This is a
Like,
trick
none of
Black
them
Mirror
are, like,
often
black and
incorporates,
white.
where it spends most of the
It's all
episode
gray,
ingratiating you to the
and I
main
love
characters
that.
before it starts to torture them.
Like when I played, I think my husband thought that I hated the game because I struggled to play like and make choices. But it was like in the time I was like having a rough time like making the choices and like struggling with that, and probably was saying stuff like, oh, I hate this, but like it was ultimately good. Like the fact that I was struggling to make a decision shows how good and well written the game is, because I was taking so much time and struggling to make a decision, and like because everything was so gray and not like black and white. And I love that. I love that. In the moment it was painful, but like in the good way, in the realistic way.
Except Fallout New Vegas.
I also
isn't
love
still
that this game
relative
allows you to
shite
be an
and
absolute
slow-paced and
psychopath.
a bit
Yeah, I
grimy.
want to
Good
do
springs with a complete
a run
understanding
where
of
I'm
what
just a
you're in for with
psychopath.
New Vegas. Character-focused narrative, RPG elements that actually turn up, and a game engine about as stable as a uranium bomb.
Good springs and march into the desert.
Accurate.
And even if the main game hasn't grabbed you yet, the old-timey Wild West songs on the radio
Oh,
are definitely
yes,
for everyone.
Big
And if
Iron.
you're lucky, you might even hear
TK,
that
you couldn't be a
enchanting
psychopath
song.
if you tried. It's true. I've tried so... Yes. I've tried so often to play, like, evil in video games, and I can't.
Hardly spoke to folks around him, didn't have too much to say. No one dared
I think there's an ending if you just kill absolutely everyone.
But the
Yes!
stranger there among them had a big iron on his hip.
Big iron on his hip.
Big iron.
Big iron.
When he tried to match the ranger with the
Big iron on his hip. Big iron on his hip.
I really hope we don't have to cut that because of copyright.
I think you should cut it because you can't sing.
Big iron.
In Fallout 3, you exit into the wasteland,
I
ready
love
to
that
continue
song.
the
Reminds me, I need to go back to watching Mike Burn Fire Fallout
sure, you
videos.
should probably go and look for him, but from the moment the game gets going, the
In my
importance
run,
of
I'm
this
currently
task
playing
melts
as a
away and you
smooth-talking
inevitably get distracted and
gunslinger.
wander off. And I think
Ooh.
the game encourages this attitude a little bit, made clear by the fact that you start off basically in the middle of the map.
Now, this freedom is what initially drew me to Fallout 3. But as with Fallout 3 and many other games like it, I found that being able to go anywhere at any time makes it impossible for the game to really have a well-paced story.
Like, remember in Die Hard where John McClane gets bored of fighting terrorists so goes home to complete the Get Watch quest and accidentally bumps into Chandler from Friends? No, it doesn't happen because it would make no sense. There's a way for a game to be completely open world while still retaining complete control over the pace of the story. Oh, hi, Mark. Fallout New Vegas'
Oh, hi, Mark.
open world design is complete genius.
Restriction
as it
encourages
perfectly combines
creativity.
A well-paced
True.
linear story with free roaming exploration. Okay, let's go. You start the game in Good Springs here, and your first task is to go to
Yeah,
the
sometimes
fringe
when
in
I
the
play a
South
game or
As it
whatever and
passes
there's
the
too
corridors
much
where you can
freedom,
learn
I'm
more
just
about the
like,
package that was stolen
I'm
from
stun
you.
locked and I can't
However,
do
even from Good
anything.
Springs, you can see New Vegas glowing tantalizingly away up north. So you of course say, fuck it, this is a Fallout game, and begin a jaunty adventure towards New Vegas. An adventure full of
Whee!
interesting characters, side quests, and what are those friendly looking
No.
guys off in the
No.
distance? Oh my
No.
god, oh my god, oh my god. So this path is off limits, and the only other path that goes north is this one here. And if you travel up it, you'll eventually bump into a group of quarry workers.
He's
who
like,
inform you that
no,
their quarry
death
has been
claws, do
overrun by
not.
a nest of death claws. And let me tell you,
You're
your
like,
high-armed
death
skills
claws,
are gonna
what-
help
how
you with
bad
this
could they
one,
be?
buddy. Oh, I'm so sorry. And so this way's off limits too. This means
Oh,
the
I'm
only
so
real
sorry.
option you have here is to go south. See, what Fallout New Vegas does, especially early on, is it gives you the
I will
freedom
never
to
forgive
explore
the think
a decent
tank for
portion of
creating
the general
galaxy
area
ports.
you're in, as you'd expect from these kind of games. But
How
when you start
dare
to roam
they.
too far from the route you need to take to do the main story, it puts an organic difficulty block in the way.
I
What
do
most games
like
would do to
that.
control your movements is put a giant impassable mountain or a locked
A lot
door
of people
in the way.
bring
In
that
this
up,
game,
that they
you
love
can
that,
go
like,
north to New Vegas right away
the
if you
game
want, but you have to be
funnels
very good
you
at the game or have built the
where
right
it
kind of
wants you to
character.
go,
It
but
feels
like you
really good
could
to have the option to
technically,
try, but also nice to know there are some challenging areas you can
you
work
could
towards
technically
being
go
able to
straight to
complete
New Vegas
later
if you
on.
And it
wanted.
doesn't just use difficult
But
combat
it's just
to direct
hard.
your movements. There are also areas with high
Don't forget the Hidden
radiation that
Valley
control
Gambit.
where you go. And
You
this is
can
quite
go
unusual, as
anywhere,
it didn't
but
really
sometimes
happen in
there's a
Fallout
guy.
3.
Probably even go straight to New
I think
Vegas
that
if
drink
you have.
may have
Yeah,
been radioactive.
you could go to,
I'm glad
and some
I'm
people
nowhere
do.
near you.
You can get to New Vegas right away. It's just not
but they were
Easy.
often quite small areas, and because the game was so open, by the time you actually stumbled on these, you likely had so much radaway that if you poured it all through Hoover Dam, you'd make enough hydroelectric energy to power the entire Mojave, not to mention most of the universe. So radiation areas were never a problem. In New Vegas, though, the areas with radiation are much larger, and you find quite a few of them in the early game. This means you have very limited resources to deal with the radiation
I always
damage, so
avoided
you'll have to
radiated
strategize if you're
places
gonna go
like the
in now
plague.
or come back later better
Probably
equipped. As a result of all these
very
organic
fitting, actually.
blockages, you generally have to take this path to get to New Vegas, even though it isn't the most direct route. But because the game is still very open along this route, I imagine most
Irradiates
people
you.
travel to
No!
New Vegas
I don't have
this. So you
radaway!
still get to find loads of random locations, characters, and side quests, but the main story itself is still being fed to us at a pace the developers have some control over. And can I just say how good it feels to finally be wary of radiation in a game called fucking Fallout? Radiation was scary. A good example of this was when you finally made it to the location called The Glow. You'd arrive, the screen would load up, and you have received a large dose of radiation. Now this is a message that would severely fuck up anyone's day, so even though it's just a video game, my heart still jumped a beat the first time I read this. But also, if you hang out at this place for too long, while you're on your way back home, you will get interrupted with, you feel very nauseous, you are very sick, your hair is falling out,
Oh,
you
no.
are hemorrhaging violently
Oh,
and
no.
continuously, the vomit is stained red from your blood, your skin is falling off your bones. Fuck me.
In Fallout 3, it's fine.
That's
You just
so
might beat yourself up
intense.
like me because I definitely drank the whole bottle.
So far then, I've repeatedly implied the story in this game is the greatest thing since sliced bread. But why is this? Well, around the time you leave Prim, you basically know that Benny, the person who stole your platinum chip and shot you in the head, can be found in New Vegas. And a decent part of the game is spent traveling these main roads to find him. Along these roads, though, we learn that the game, as it stands, has two major factions fighting for
Prim
the fate of
Slim.
Mojave.
I made
The
him
NCR,
the
who are an
new-
organized
the
military
new
group
sheriff
with a
in Prim.
centralized government, and the Legion, which is a collection of nomad
Robot
tribes and
supremacy.
slaves combined to form an army run by a singular dictator called Caesar. They're both here because
Fuck
they're fighting for
Caesar.
control of Hoover Dam in the east, because whoever holds that not only holds all the hydroelectric power in the area, but also most of the clean drinking water. It's important,
no,
yo.
no.
At
Oh.
this point in the game, though, you
Don't
only
drink
ever
that.
see the NCR about, as they are the current occupying force in this area.
Many people you meet also talk about the Legion too, but you don't ever really see any of them. You hear about how they're really bad guys, but this is a Fallout game. Everyone's bad. Remember what a mean voice that
I
Talon
rescued
Company
Myers from the
merc had in
prison and
Fallout
made
3?
Prim Slim the sheriff. Yeah, that's what I did. I think I rescued Myers, but I made Prim Slim the
Stop
sheriff.
that.
So honestly, you don't really give the Legion much thought. Eventually on your travels, you see a huge structure in the distance, which you go to and learn that it's a monument to the NCR and the Nevada Rangers, who recently joined forces to take on the Legion. But all the troops here aren't happy about it. Not only was this monument a complete waste of resources, the troops talk about how they're not being properly utilized here, and they aren't getting the support they need. A sniper is particularly worried about smoke she sees coming from the town of Nipton. It isn't the Legion as they're stationed off to the east, but something bad is happening. So you travel towards the town,
This-
and as you
oh.
approach, you see things are clearly not all right.
Yeah,
The
this
music City
this
of the
is
Dead
so
from
good
Fallout 1
in
and 2
your
fades
first
in,
time
and
getting to
that's
Nipton.
when you meet him.
Smell that air! Couldn't you just drink it like booze?
You enter Nipton to find the people who used to live there crucified and burnt, and a member of Caesar's Legion eventually addresses you with a voice so cool it even warms my icy heart with a cool island song.
Don't worry. I won't have you lashed to a cross like the rest of these degenerates. It's useful that you happened by.
Yeah, if you kill the guy,
I'm not saying
if
I'm a
you
member
kill
of his
Vopez, you
fan club or
lose no
anything,
karma.
But you know, Volpez, he's a pretty
Because
cool
he's just
guy.
that
Explains to you that
horrible.
The lottery was a way to decide how people of the town would be punished. Beheaded, burnt on tires, crucified. This guy you find came second in the lottery, and as he says it,
They beat my fucking legs with hammers.
only the one winning number got to go free, and we all saw the result of that.
Oh my god, smell that air!
Everything about the way this encounter is set up is genius.
You know, he
and in my
survived,
mind,
but at
we
what
were working
cost?
towards this
He's
moment the second
insane
you woke
now.
up in that doctor's house. If the game was fully open world like Fallout 3, for example, they simply wouldn't have been able to pace the Legion's incredibly shocking introduction so well. And I think it works even better when you think that Fallout 3 never ever got this real. Sure,
Yeah.
super mutants kidnapped and ate people, but all you ever really
love
saw
ghouls.
was their victims in shopping trolleys. And raiders in Fallout 3, yeah, they'd kill and maim people, but you never really got any gory details on it. I think people expected New Vegas to have the same
Surprise
sort of
Pikachu
tone,
face.
and without warning,
They stood and watched as their fellows were butchered, crucified, and burned.
Okay, maybe he's not so cool.
The other great thing about this encounter
No.
too is after it, the game becomes almost
Bobo
entirely
died
about the
like a
conflict
bitch.
between the NCR and the Legion. The
Surprise
conflict that
Pikachu
scene has
face.
hopefully made you very interested in. We are, of course, still traveling to New Vegas to find Chandelier from Friends, but the game has handed us another major storyline to follow. New Vegas's map also opens up quite a bit from this point, and the game starts to play a bit more like Fallout 3, in which you can wander around mostly freely as a random adventurer, meeting fun characters and gathering really well-written side quests. But New Vegas is still quite different from Fallout 3. In that,
Side
as I
quests are
say,
really
the
good
side
in this
quests you
game.
gather are mostly related to the main story about the NCR and the Legion.
Now, to show you why I think Fallout New Vegas's approach is better, let's talk about television in the 90s.
I told you to only review New Vegas. What are you doing?
Luna.
I knew you'd be on board.
Oh.
TV prior to the
no.
early 90s was hugely
no.
unserialized when you compare it to TV today. The Next Generation, which started in the late 80s, for example, was almost entirely a collection of episodes that had absolutely
Cuck the Legion
nothing
and
to
the
do with
NCR,
one
but I
before
was still
or
there.
after. Now, the
You mean
draw was
fuck?
that you could tune into any episode and you'd
I like
easily
the
be able
side
to
quests
understand
where
what was
the
happening,
NCR
but
ranger
it also
tells
meant
you
the
to
show
kill his
couldn't really
captured
build
men.
on any complex ideas or stories over
Wait,
the course of an entire
I don't know if I
season. A good
did that
example of this is
one.
there's a famous episode
I
of The
don't
Next
remember that
Generation where
one.
Picard is brutally interrogated for what seems like weeks by a Cardassian officer.
You are 6 years old!
Gripping stuff. You can see why he played Squidward in Star Trek Squidward.
The episode, of course, ends with Picard being freed, but later on he privately admits that he had been broken and would have told the Cardassian who tortured him anything he asked.
How is it that
military
autocorrect
secrets
made
and
it
all.
sound
So how does
worse?
the next episode follow up on this horrifying conclusion? How can the show go on if the captain of the Federation flagship is a broken man? Well, here's how the next episode begins.
That he was, in fact, murdered.
Murdered?
Oh, you have got to be fucking kidding. A lot of TV back then just wasn't serialized, so the thrilling
No.
idea of having the Federation's best man being a broken mess, boring, had to be dropped. This more retro style of storytelling I've just described
Please state the nature of the medical emergency.
has always reminded me of Fallout 3.
Please state the nature of the medical emergency.
In that there wasn't really a central narrative as the game ran on. Now, in the early 90s, television started to rebel against this style, and many shows with long-running stories in them were introduced, like The X-Files and Deep Space Nine, which is the greatest TV program of all time.
It's good,
But they, of course,
good.
didn't go
I
full
like-
serialization like
I
we're
like
used to today. That would
serialization.
have been too big a sudden change for audiences, so they still peppered in quite a few random fun episodes that had nothing to do with the larger story. I'd argue that Fallout New Vegas slots itself into this early 90s TV groove
Yeah,
perfectly.
that's a good way
So
to
as you
explain
explore
it.
the Mojave, almost everywhere you go, there is a strong central story of the NCR versus the Legion running through it, and this keeps the stakes continually very tense and complex. But there are still
The
many
cannibals.
random locations you can go to that have nothing to do with any of it, and that's when you can have jaunty fun adventures and forget all your problems. Oh my god, what is that? It's the
Not that
perfect
bold.
balance, and to me, it only adds to why this is basically the perfect game. Even Friends
So
had this
good.
formula. It had a lot of silly episodes, yes, but it still had gripping story arcs that carried over an entire season. You know, like when Chandler from Friends adopted that chicken and duck, and I was gonna make fun of this scene, but it is actually really funny. Godspeed, Matthew Perry.
So you see, Luna, that tangent all about TV made sense in the end.
Yes.
You know, we're getting good at this.
Yes.
We could form a permanent show like this. You should let me out of here.
Yes.
Oh wait, no, I think she's stuck on a loop.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Eventually, then,
Fun
we make
fact,
it to New
the
Vegas to confront Benny.
slow
but before we
miners
do
are
that, we get
cannibals.
called into the Lucky
You can find
38,
strange
and we
meat
go
pies
to
there?
the
Oh,
game's
no.
third major faction.
Oh no.
Mr. House.
Mr.
Now, we usually communicate
House!
with Mr. House using this computer screen, but without a doubt, he is the greatest character the Fallout series has produced thus far.
See, some bad things are happening
Yes.
in the Mojave, with no good outcome on the cards. That was, yeah. And suddenly turns up Robert House, the CEO of Robco, with loads of really good
Bob.
solutions. And what's even better is we already know who he is.
We've seen his name on every single computer terminal in both Fallout 3 and New Vegas, and his company has invented loads of things.
Bobby
we know really
House.
well. The Pip-Boy, Sentry Bots, Protectrons, even in the first games we see his iBots, Mr. Handies, and Robo-Brains. He's
Yeah.
huge. He's like the Elon Musk of Fallout.
Oh no. It is horrifying. Oh no.
Amidst all
Yes,
this chaos,
please
he
go
just
back.
turns up and effectively offers the world
That was
full
like Uncanny
salvation.
Valley.
After in the game for about 5 minutes, it's likely that you already regard him as the best option for taking over the Mojave. See, there's really no way to explain what makes Fallout New Vegas so great beyond just saying it's really excellently written, and Mr. House is our prime example of this. Based on what we've seen before meeting him, Mr. House is basically the most successful and capable man of all time. But what is so brilliant is that his dialogue and voice acting completely back this up. His voice actor, the late René Auberjonois, is in my humble opinion one of the greatest actors of all time, and he brings Mr. House to life perfectly. There is a moment where if you refuse to give him the platinum chip he's hired you to deliver, he completely loses it, and it's without a doubt one of my favorite parts of any game.
How shall I put this? Do you really think I'm going to let an upstart come into my home and ransom my property to me? I spent 2 centuries searching for the platinum chip. It's my invention, my property, mine! Now be a good courier and deliver it.
Shortly after meeting House,
So
you
good,
also
so
meet the head of the
good.
Legion, Caesar, and
What
he
I
is
love is if you
just
kill
as
Mr. House at the golf club, you
With
get the
everything you've
achievement as
seen, you
slave
probably
obeys.
expect him to be some kind of madman.
What?
Kind of is.
You
He's
do?
pretty highly educated. Just the way he talks about books is quite
No
scary.
way.
There's a lot of good information in old books.
His philosophical views are pretty interesting as well. He claims that because
Okay,
the
I
Legion
need to
is
get
so
that
different from
achievement
the
now.
NCR, when they meet in conflict and are destroyed, they will come together to form a new, even greater synthesis. And most importantly of all, he's able to articulate why he believes his horrible method of leadership is actually the best option in a way that you can easily understand. Honestly, it's really beautiful. See, the best villains are the ones you
He's
can
not
relate
beautiful.
to. In Fallout 4, I couldn't understand for a singular second what the fuck Father was up to or what he was planning.
Well, that's hard to explain. That's a difficult question. I know there's more for us to discuss, but now that's the question. I promised answers, and answers you shall have.
Both
But I
inspired
need-
by
Just
Walt
admit it,
Disney
you
in
don't know
design.
what your own plan is. I'm not being funny here. I feel more fatherly love and guidance from fucking Caesar himself.
I order my Praetorians to hack you to death with their machetes for my entertainment.
Finally, someone who gets me.
I mean, here, that's it, really. The rest of the game is about deciding if you're going to help the Legion, the NCR, or Mr. House take control of Hoover Dam and thus the Mojave.
Or
There's also, of course, a
do it
fourth option, which I
yourself.
haven't covered, where you can take over the Mojave with this friendly robot called
Yes.
Yes Man.
Yes,
It's
man.
what Benny always called me. Probably because I'm programmed to be so
I love Yes
See,
Man.
Luna, why can't you be an easygoing TV personality like Yes Man?
It's kind of cute, honestly.
Maybe you should change back.
The point is, though, no matter what side you look at, they each have well thought out pros and cons that most importantly conflict with each other. The NCR wants rights for its citizens and the Legion believes in slavery. The NCR has serious drug and alcohol problems and the Legion prohibits those items. The NCR is like a modern government and the Legion believes modern governments literally caused the nuclear war that ended the world, and that's such a smart argument to throw at us. But I still find Mr. House to be the most interesting faction. He is set up so that when you meet him, you think he's the good guy, a philanthropist who genuinely has all the answers. And he himself, of course, talks at length about how good he is. Even when you suggest that he is a dictator like Caesar, he says,
I prefer the term autocrat.
well, that just sounds like a dictator with some steps.
Oh, la-di-da. Someone's gonna get laid in the wasteland.
Constantly acts like he's not capable of being irrational due to his impartial nature, and yet, as we saw earlier, that isn't true at all. But because he's so well written, it took until my second playthrough to actually see through his very charming, very intelligent garbage.
Oh, and don't you think I've forgotten about Benny? We, of course, eventually catch up with him and...
What in the goddamn?
What in
What
the
in the
goddamn?
goddamn? What in the goddamn?
I love it.
Okay,
What
so
in
I've
the
rambled on
goddamn?
like Fallout New Vegas is perfect for a good while now. And it is, and you have to accept it. This is my autocratic channel. Mine. Now be a good viewer and deliver it. Accept it.
Sorry, I got a bit carried away there. So what is there about this game that I don't like? Well, as we all know, it does crash a lot. But honestly, this has just never bothered me that much. And I'm going to tell you why. Recently, I've been playing a lot of Baldur's Gate 3. A review is coming, which really is quite a janky game. My character seems to have a totally gormless look on their face half the time, and the animations on a lot of characters feel a bit off. But you know, it never really took me out of things. It's just the quality of the writing and the voice acting in this game is so good. I find I just kind of unconsciously disregard these other issues. And it's the same story with Starfield. but in reverse. Bethesda, bless them, they have worked so hard on this game, and it's...
Karlak,
You'll
my
notice there's also
beloved.
an
Yes.
intensity slider, so you can crank up the intensity of his age.
You know, it's alright, but the writing is light years behind games like New Vegas or Baldur's Gate. So when Cowboy Man here enters and leaves a room 6 times in a row for no obvious reason, I'm immediately sucked out of things. Partly because I wasn't sucked in the first place. I find I'm so immersed by the writing and voice acting in New Vegas that its stability issues just never really bother me that much. Jesus, I sound like I'm in one of those job interviews where you try and turn a weakness into a strength.
Well, the game's pretty unstable, but if you think about it, it's because the writing is so good.
Okay, all right. I really don't like how you can't be a spy in this game. For example, at one point, Caesar here has a tiny wee headache. And if you want to get close to him to learn more about this headache so you can eventually further it, you of course need to do some quests for him to gain his trust. However, when you do this, people in the game will turn on you and refuse to listen to any reasoning. For example, when my old pal Boone here asks why I'm helping them, I say, I'm infiltrating their organization. I have to gain their trust.
I don't care what the reasons are.
And then he fucks off. The thing is, though,
Boone!
so much choice in what you can do, who you can help, and how you can help them. So it's no surprise, really, that they had to put a limit on how complex the characters' reactions are to you. I mean, they only had 18 months to make this game. Jesus, give them a break.
See, the game doesn't give you all the choice, but that's because it gives you too much choice.
Another real genuine problem this game has is the load times. For example, you get given a safe house inside the Lucky 38 to store your items, and getting to this room from the wasteland is an absolute nightmare. See, you can't fast travel into this room. You can't fast travel into the building this room's in. You can't fast travel to the outside of the building this room's in. You can only fast travel to the next street over to the building that has the room in. So it goes like this. I need to get to my home base. So you open the map, fast travel to the Strip North Gate, load, walk to this door that leads to the New Vegas Strip, load, walk across the strip all the way to the Lucky 38, load, walk across the casino floor in the Lucky 38, load, and now we are in our home base. And if you were playing this back in the day on an Xbox 360 like I was, fast traveling took about 20 seconds and loading into new rooms took 10. So just traveling to your home base would mean a minimum loading time of
Novak Motel greater than Lucky 38.
What have even addressed this issue because of how utterly insane it is.
I don't know about that.
Fallout New Vegas
Lucky 38's got some good vibes. Novak Motel is kind of broken.
How the game concludes the struggle for power in the Mojave is also
I
obviously
had 100
exceptionally
speech
well
at the end, so I just talked my way out of everything.
Four completely different endings depending on what faction you chose to help. The game also concludes by explaining to you how your actions over the entire game affected basically all the other major settlements across the Mojave. Prim, for example, is just one tiny town you pass through early on in the game that is missing a sheriff, and before you leave, you can help with providing it with one of 4 possible new leaders. Meaning Prim will get a completely different ending for each leader you pick.
But also a different ending for how that leader reacts to whatever faction wins at the end of the game. And oh no, I've gone cross-eyed.
The point is, New Vegas manages to completely nail giving a conclusive ending to every major settlement in the game. This realistically means there are a near infinite number of totally unique endings possible for anyone to play through, as you see a different combination each time. And the ending is totally different for every single player. The only way to really demonstrate the scale of what Obsidian has done is if you search for a compilation of every possible ending to Fallout New Vegas. It adds up to half an hour of cutscenes. It's like they saw Todd Howard's slight fabrication about the number of possible endings in Fallout 3.
As of last week, we're over 200 endings. That is not an exaggeration.
And while they personally, overall then, both the main story and the random adventuring you do has been extremely well planned and well written. The skills, perk, and trait systems are perfectly integrated into both the combat and story, and the soundtrack, visuals, and tone all work together to create a gorgeous Wild West atmosphere. Wow.
There we go, that's it, I'm done. I can't go on forever. It's time you let me go,
Luna?
She's gone? No. She wouldn't forget about me.
Aww.
Oh yeah, she's forgotten about me.
What a good kitty.
It must seem like a 24-carat run of bad luck. The truth is, the game was rigged from the start. Oh, for God's
Did it!
sake.
He said the line! And he got boxed again. Yay! Fallout New Vegas is not a nightmare.
Also, if you enjoyed this video, please consider taking a look at the Absolute Nightmare box set.
This video and this box set were made totally independently by me without any sponsors. So looking at this box set is the best way to support the channel. And everything in it is really high quality, carefully curated by me.
And sexy, yeah. Don't say sexy on your channel, Matt.
Okay, so the DLC is next.
In October.
Wait, but I really need to go to the bathroom, so I will be right back.
Take me away from home. Show me all the places I've never known. And we'll chase the night. Race all of these broken dreams in flight. And we'll fly.
Okay, I'm back. I'm back and ready for New Vegas' DLC is an absolute nightmare. I'm really curious what his thoughts are going to be on this. So let's get into it.
In October 2010, Bethesda announced that very soon extra content would be released for Fallout New Vegas. 4 major story add-ons came out over the following months, namely Dead Money, Honest Hearts, Old World Blues, and Lonesome Road. It has been so long since these add-ons were released. Up Is Not Jump, a video game reviewer, has died, but his remains stay active today critiquing games and just generally being an asshole.
This game is terrible.
You know what would be more fun? You. The Fallout New Vegas DLC. I'll just use my psionic powers to insert the disc.
You can see the fishing line. Oh no!
I don't have eyes. In Dead Money, you open up your Pip-Boy to find a radio channel broadcasting details about the Sierra Madre. From this, you learn it contains an amazing casino and resort where you can visit and let go of all your problems. The broadcast leads you to a bunker that contains a radio, and if you walk towards it, you'll get knocked out by gas, which, by the way, is very intense.
It is.
I don't like this. You black out and soon wake up.
It's okay, your brain, you can't breathe.
Madre Resort, which is overlooked by the casino. Father Elijah, the man who kidnapped you, appears via a hologram and explains that he brought you here to break into the vault of the Sierra Madre Casino, as it holds something of great importance. And for me, this was a pretty good start to the DLC. See, earlier in the game, you can meet Veronica here, who can join you as a follower, and she is probably the best companion in the whole game, which is
I never got her when I played, but I want to.
Danny Trejo.
I can throw the gun at him if you want, boss.
Veronica tells loads of jokes.
I want her as a companion
but you
next
also
time
get
I
the
play.
sense there's a lot more going on under the surface that she's using humor to cover up. After Veronica hangs out with you for a while, though, she'll eventually open up about her old mentor, Father Elijah. And from her, we learn all about him. He's a technological genius and a past leader of the Brotherhood of Steel. Most notably, we learned that he suffered a huge defeat trying to defend a power station called Helios 1.
Father Elijah made himself look older in the hologram. It's true. He did look way older in the hologram.
Early on in the game, that Helios 1 is actually powering a giant, unstoppable sky laser.
Heck yeah.
And from all this, we get a foreboding sense that when Father Elijah lost such a powerful weapon, something inside him snapped.
Said he'd return with one of the greatest treasures of the old world. Make the Mojave like it was meant to be. Wipe the slate clean.
It's not often that Veronica is so serious, and now here I am faced with this person she seems to be genuinely scared of. It very quickly adds a lot of tension to this setup. Anyway, beyond all this good stuff, this specific
Connie, I was drinking my coffee. What if I spit it out?
It's just way too confusing.
Look,
I'm not the brightest guy. Hilarious. But Elijah starts explaining why we're here all in one go, and it is far too much for me to follow. He says I'm wearing a bomb collar that will explode if I try to leave. We are going to heist our way into the casino building here with a team of 3 extra people I need to gather. I should craft the toxins I find around the villa into substances to help me. My only weapon is a hollow rifle that he's made. People in strange suits live here, but they're immortal for some reason, so to kill them, they need to be blown up. There's a red cloud here made of copper
and sulfur.
Elijah's voiceover is great, by the way. The clouds found here burn everything they touch, so avoid concentrated parts of them. There are dangerous holograms that can be destroyed if you shoot them.
Connie, are you okay?
Radios and speakers that will set off my bomb collar if I get near them for too long. There are assembly vending machines powered by chips I can find around the villa, and my Pip-Boy can track the collars of the others I need for the heist, and off you go. It's all too much!
Oh no, he exploded. Now his brain will
Obsidian's come up
dehydrate.
with so many great ideas for the Sierra Madre, but introducing them all at once like this is just too stressful and overwhelming. And I'm not the only one who thinks so. I'd rather chug embalming fluid and set myself on fire than play another second of this godforsaken deal. Also, as I said,
Connie, why are you spamming
your
numbers?
character goes near any radio or speakers. And this is a really simple idea to understand. But the first example of it we find in the game is so badly designed. See, the first person you are told to go and find is a mutant called Dog. And when you enter the room with him in, your collar starts beeping for the first time. But there are 4 radios hidden in this first room that if you don't destroy within 10 seconds, your head will instantly explode. Why not just have one radio? It's all just so confusing. Ugh, even as a dying brain, I hate bad game design.
We love Dog.
Whoa, 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 you can't review these DLC like that.
That money is great except for when it isn't.
Wait, what are you doing? Oh, I'm just activating your Pip-Boy's cellular regeneration unit. This might hurt a bit.
Oh no.
Oh, he's gone. What? Hey, I've got hands again. And one of those.
What is that?
After we deal with the radios, we can properly
Yep.
see Dog in his cage. And not to keep complaining, but meeting Dog here may be the most confusing character introduction I have ever seen in anything ever. At first, Dog won't talk to us, so we explore the building and end up going downstairs. When we do, a disembodied voice starts to speak to us and tells us that he's the one who locked Dog in the cage.
Dog. I had to lock him up.
He guides us to a recording on a desk and says that this recording is him and tells us to take this recording and play it to Dog upstairs. So we go back upstairs, play the recording, and then God starts speaking to us. It turns out that Dog and God are the same person with dissociative identity disorder who are both obsessed with the cage.
Be careful what cage you open.
And while they do mention this cage, they're also referring to the metaphorical part of their mind that they have created to hold whichever one of them isn't in control. But also, the recording of God talking will turn Dog into God, and the recording of Elijah we suddenly have on our Pip-Boy will turn God into Dog. Oh my God, it's all too much! Don't get me wrong, though, Dog and God are great characters. Honestly, all the characters in this DLC are brilliant. It's just that they're all so fucking contrived. Like, we meet this lady, Christine, who is also here to help us, and is Veronica's ex-girlfriend for anyone not reading the Wikipedia page. Christine can't talk.
I didn't know that.
Cut, so she uses hand gestures to communicate. And while this is a really good idea, the game simply isn't able to produce complex animations, so we just have this. She looks back at you and her hands clench into fists. Her eyes narrow and she takes a step back, studying you. Are you fucking joking? He laughed heartily, did a triple somersault in glee, and then burst into tears at the beauty of his own theatrical ability. And this is all she does for like half the DLC. Her text isn't even on screen for more than a few seconds, so I can't read, let alone comprehend what the hell she's trying to say.
Oh no.
And honestly, I think even if the animations match the words on screen, it would still make no sense at all. So the object of this DLC is to survive the many dangers of the villa, so that me, Dog, Christine, and Domino, who I haven't mentioned, but he is here, can set off an opening ceremony
Domino.
in the villa.
No one talks about Domino.
Casino. From there we can enter
Everyone
and try
talks
and
about
reach the
Christine
vault
and
under the
Dog, but not
casino, as it
Domino.
holds a great treasure that Father Elijah wants. But the problem is just doing all
The
this
devs do know that sign language actually forms words, right?
Elijah warns us of are all more frustrating than they are interesting.
Killed Dina
Your
by
bomb collar
accident?
keeps
Oh
going
no.
off, the casino security holograms are immortal, and all the deadly gas blocks areas and clouds your vision. What kept me going through all of this, though, was the promise of
Dean
finding
Domino is a massive
vault that was
asshole.
so important to Elijah.
So why no one
And after
talks
much
about him.
difficulty, you do eventually make it down to this vault on your own. But when you get there, you find there is no dangerous treasure or evil weapon. Father Elijah contacts you and explains that the computers in the casino vault can give full control of the Sierra Madre Resort and its casino. With its security systems, invulnerable holograms, toxic gas clouds, reanimated dead turrets. With all this, he will be able to return to the Mojave and get his revenge. And you know what? Getting through all of that to find out we've actually spent the entire DLC trying to survive the very thing Elijah wants. It was a great reveal. I really liked it. There are actually a load of gold bars in the casino vault, which we can take as our reward.
Yes.
But honestly, I just assumed they'd be worthless. There's nothing here but worthless gold. I think I'm dying.
Oh, no.
Wasteland is going to buy gold bars off me. They don't want gold, they need water.
Water.
But on closer inspection, each bar is actually valued at 10,539 caps. Good grief, my own spine that I'm carrying isn't even worth one cap, and there's 37 bars here. Now, these bars are so heavy that if you hold even two, you become so weighed down you can only walk at a snail's pace. But who cares? I'll snap my tendons and walk back to the Mojave. You don't need functioning ankles when you've got caps, son.
Yeah, money.
Well, Elijah comes down to finish me off, but not likely. When you kill him, it starts the timer on your bomb collar, and you have around a minute to quickly escape the vault before the collar goes off. Okay, let's do this.
Yep.
Yeah, this isn't gonna work. Eventually you'll realize that no matter what you do, there is no way you can make it to the exit in time unless you run. And that's the point. The message of this DLC from the start was always letting go. And at one point or another, every character says it.
It's letting go. It's letting go.
It's letting go.
It's letting go.
Drop me and I'll sue you, human.
Let go of your troubles and come
Be
to
nice
the
to
great
Luna.
Sierra Madre. Let go of your mind. Let go of your failures. Let go of your greed. So you, of course, have to drop almost all of the bars so that you're light enough to run to sweet freedom. I've changed my mind. I want to die rich. Harvey, though, it isn't all over. Fortunately, we receive one last message from the Sierra Madre Resort.
Wait a moment. Before you go, farewells can be a time of sadness. Letting go, difficult. As a guest of the Sierra...
Oh, fuck off. Oh, before we go on, I think I'm a bit low on health. What? Why is there an eye in here? Oh, excuse me.
Unless you have a freaking jacked weight limit.
Stranger, I'm the burn. Doesn't matter. Have you got any caps? I need some food from that stall. Well, actually, I have this weathered cap stash containing 10 caps, all themed around Up Is Not Jump. Who's Up Is Not Jump? Never mind, that'll get me an iguana on a stick. Wait, I have a whole box of over a dozen valuables in this absolute nightmare box set, and they're shipping now. Sorry, this happens to me quite a lot.
Oh no.
It also includes this working 64GB pen drive featuring nearly 4 hours of completely unseen Up Is Not Jump videos. What's a pen drive? My Pip-Boy plays holotapes. Who am I looking at? I also wrote this 40-page glow-in-the-dark booklet.
I've never heard a USB drive called a pen drive.
You wrote this whole thing. Who are you? There's also a poster, 3 enamel pins, a sticker sheet with 7 stickers, 3 recipe cards with recipes from the channel, and more. You could even win a piece of my vibe. That's it, I'm taking the cap. And you get all of that for $100. And it ships from the US, but it's shipping now, so get yours today. So if you're interested, go to pixelempire.com/upisnotjump. Okay, you can go now. One of my favorite details in all of Fallout New Vegas is that Caesar, the leader of the murderous Caesar's Legion, was once a member of the Followers of the Apocalypse, who are a kind faction of total...
I love the Followers of the Apocalypse.
I mentioned in passing initially, it's a great example of the game's main theme.
I went ham with helping them.
No matter who they are, are
Joshua
flawed.
Graham is the
followers
best
of the
DLC
Apocalypse,
character.
without
A lot
doubt,
of people
come
love
across as
Joshua
the
Graham.
good guys.
I've
They believe
noticed.
in
And he
peace
is
above all else
super
and provide
interesting and
medicine
well written.
education to anyone who will take it. But they ignore the fact that in the wrong hands, the knowledge they share can be dangerous. Without any hesitation, they taught Caesar himself everything he needed to conquer and absorb basically all of the tribes east of the Mojave. In all of this, it seems Caesar's character is analogous to Kurt's from Apocalypse Now. And look, they're both bald!
They're both
Before
bald!
the events of this game, the followers of the Apocalypse introduced Caesar, known as Edward Sallow at the time, to a man named Joshua Graham. After some time and a series of small mistakes, they had formed Caesar's Legion, and Joshua Graham became Caesar's legate. Very shortly before the events of the game, Graham led the Battle of Hoover Dam against the Legion's main enemy, the NCR.
I think the funniest thing is the I survived because the fire inside me burned brighter than the fire around me quote is always used without crediting it to the video game character.
I could survive.
I've never heard anyone use it, but I can see, I can guess.
I'm fine. See,
I can expect people to use
Caesar,
it.
who knew Graham had survived, banned his name from ever being spoken. But this only led to the legend of the Burned Man. This DLC's main draw is that you finally get to meet the Burned Man. And does all this build-up pay off? Well, let's ask him. How did you survive?
I survived because the fire inside burned brighter than the fire around me.
Hey.
The fire inside burned brighter than the fire around me.
Obsidian, you son of a bitch, I'm in. I didn't play these DLC when they came out originally, and so I've spent the last 10 years wondering what the Burned Man would be like, and meeting him to find out his voice actor is the same person that voices Arvel the Swift from Skyrim.
Now cut me down before anything else shows up. We should have given you a better welcome on your first visit to Zion.
Really almost ruined it for me.
No.
This DLC is about helping the Burned Man, Daniel, and a tribe they're protecting called the Sorrows, escape from or destroy another tribe that's trying to kill them called the Whitelegs. And this part of the DLC I'd describe as not great. See, the Whitelegs, as Daniel here will tell you,
they killed without regard to age or infirmity. They beat children to...
Yeah, I'm sorry. Who wrote this dialogue? Bethesda?
Went into a settlement a year or two ago and killed everyone. Women. Children.
As you probably noticed when I talked about the followers of the Apocalypse, New Vegas is interesting because most of the major factions in this game have a well fleshed out backstory that you can learn about by talking with specific members of that faction. In this DLC though, the Whitelegs are just a distant enemy described as nothing other than pure evil.
It's
no
true.
To the Raiders in Fallout 3, except they have white legs. And don't get me started on what a hot mess this DLC becomes when you think about the way Native American culture is represented. I like how if you help the Birdman use his skills to kill all of the Whitelegs tribe, you are helping him do exactly what he and his now nemesis Caesar used to do together, but otherwise this story is pretty standard stuff. What makes this DLC overall very memorable for me though is it probably has the best written side story in the entire Fallout universe, which comes in the form of computer terminals hidden in several caves, all left by one man named Randall Clark. You learn from these logs that Clark survived the nuclear bombs dropping 200 years ago by hiding in a cave, and his logs give us a first-hand account of what the world was like just after the bombs dropped. He talks about how his wife and son were killed when the bombs fell, but also that while surviving out here, he eventually comes across the people who used to live in Vault 22. See, we actually find Vault 22 back in the base game and learn it was abandoned after the dwellers in it became infected with a deadly fungus that would kill, then later reanimate the people it infected. Almost all of the vaults we find in Fallout 3 and New Vegas have no living vault dwellers in them, but that really is part of the magic. We're only left with our imagination to assume what awful things happen to them, and nothing can beat the human imagination. Nah, fuck that. These final logs give us an incredibly satisfying, complete story.
No,
for the dwellers
I don't want to go to Vault 22
that
now.
doesn't destroy any of the mystery Obsidian created for them originally. It's sort of like the total opposite of the film Prometheus. Clark learns that the dwellers of Vault 22 ultimately became cannibals, and over the course of several months, he hunts and kills almost all of them. You can even find some of the traps he used. The final log we find was written by him as he sits under the stars, ready to die. Here is where he realizes what kept him going all of these years. It wasn't just his will to survive. He kept fighting so he could keep the memory of his family alive just that bit longer. It is what he owed them. And he writes,
I never forgot your face. They used to say that happened after a while, but never did for me. Maybe the only point of all this living was to keep those pictures in my head going for as long as I could. It was the only life I could give you. Not a day went by without.
Yo, this DLC is dope. I'm a serious game reviewer. This DLC takes place inside
Oh,
the
a lot of
Big
people
Empty,
don't
a
like this
scientific
one.
complex that primarily developed technology to help America win their war against the Chinese. But we all saw how that went. The DLC begins with us being captured and experimented on by a group called the Think Tank, who actually won PR Agency of the Year 2025. The Think Tank, a group of scientists that ran the facility hundreds of years ago, but now they're just brains in jars, kept alive by this ungodly merging of flesh and metal. We learned that these brains removed my brain, turning me into a lobotomite, and now I have no choice but to help them take on their nemesis.
30-minute cutscene, let's
Dr.
go.
Mobius.
Yep, that's why
We're
people
sending
hate it.
wave after wave of giant robo-scorpions with intelligence-sapping beams that will render the think tank into simpletons. I told you this DLC was dope. On top of this creative setting, what makes Old World Blue so good is it is, simply put, insanely well written.
If I were not as intelligent as I am, impossible.
See, the tone of this DLC is pretty much all comedy, and making a video game that is non-stop jokes that is actually funny is not an easy task. There's a reason why Undertale, Portal, and The Secret of Monkey Island hold such legendary status. We start, as I said, by talking with the 5 brains in the think tank, and the dialogue here is all gold.
In all probable likelihoods, yes. Possibly.
The brains eventually send me out into the Big Empty to uncover all of the advanced technology that was created here, which I can then use to break into the Forbidden Zone, where Dr. Mobius is hiding. And all this tech is great because it gives you new upgrades and abilities, but I think the best thing you can find here is the K9000 Cyberdog gun. This is basically just a Cyberdog that's been turned into a gun, but what sells it are all of its quirks. It barks when you equip it, cries when you unequip it, growls when there are enemies nearby, and it has 2 little ears that wiggle and a sensor that moves around like a sniffing nose, and I love it so much. You can also upgrade the dog brain to make it more aggressive, which just means the gun does more damage. But the brain jar also turns red, and an angry dog sticker appears on the front of it. Marry me, Old World Blue. It's all these small quality additions that make this DLC so special. For example, you have a base in this area called the Sink, which is filled with objects that will help you collect resources, upgrade your weapons and gear, or just improve your skills and abilities. The light switches, for example, can produce colored light that gives you certain skill bonuses, or the sink here can give you water bottles to heal yourself while you're out and about. However, in one of the best ideas since Einstein invented water that doesn't get you wet.
Oh, I can't believe it's not wet.
Objects have their own personalities that relate to their function in some way. The sink is a germaphobe, the biological research unit is a pervert, and the book depository hates all books as they help promote independent thought. One of my favorite of these personalities is the toaster, who, because their only function is to power a red-hot heating element, considers itself one of the most dangerous beings in existence.
There is just a death ray with a smaller power supply.
And of course, there's the robot Muggy.
Oh, please, please tell me you brought me some coffee.
Me.
You know, in my last video I said Mr. House was probably the best character in the whole Fallout series? No, I was wrong. It's Muggy here.
Muggy!
He's a Securitron that was designed to clean dishware, but he has been driven completely insane by the fact that no matter what he does, unclean dishes will always exist out in the world. This idea in of itself is of course amazing, but the dialogue and the voice acting are chef's f***ing kiss.
Oh God, give me the coffee cup, please! It's sitting there in your back, taunting me! No, they're mine!
As I said, all these guys can upgrade your gear and weapons, but first you need to activate their abilities by bringing them upgrade modules that you can find hidden around the Big Empty. And while this is all fine, I found that, like in Dead Money, because I was dropped into this new world so quickly, it all got a little bit confusing. Like, before I even met any of these crazy characters in the sink, I found an upgrade module, and here's what the game told me about it. This holotape contains an audio sample of Gabriel's bark. It can be used to modify the sonic emitter's weapon at the sink's jukebox. What the?
Yeah, what does that mean? If you
Not to mention, all of these characters are found in a location called the Sink, but there's also a sink in the sink that needs sink upgrade modules you find outside the sink, and you bring them to the sink so that you can upgrade the sink.
Show me your secrets.
I did feel a bit confused about this DLC's main story as well. It starts off, for example, with about 20 minutes of non-stop exposition from the main brain, Dr. Klein here, And while it's all brilliantly written and absolutely hilarious...
By Oppenheimer, which one of you self-professed geniuses has been adjusting my volume knob?
The other 4 brains of the think tank also talk to you during this conversation, and they only talk through Dr. Klein. So we have 5 characters, all of who look exactly the same, all talking through one person, and no matter who is speaking, it says Dr. Klein at the
Oh,
back.
no.
So although all of these characters have great personalities, I struggled a bit to remember who was who throughout my playthrough.
You know, I seem to be having trouble understanding all of these DLC. I think actually there might be something wrong with me.
Correct.
Oh, no.
Lobotomite.
Oh no, now what?
I've removed your brain, and you'll never find it. Well, actually, it's over there.
What?
Oh,
Oh no. You could have at least left it in the jar.
I loved almost all of this DLC. And
It's
what's
gonna dry out
the
now.
Stratosphere levels of brilliance for me is how perfectly the Big Empty connects itself into the larger story of New Vegas and the other DLC. For example, in the Big Empty, I found a destroyed research facility called the X-22 Botanical Garden. And in it were the same monsters we saw in the main game in Vault 22. But one of these monsters here is called Patient Zero. From this, we can deduce that the research that took place here must have created the fungus that infected and destroyed most of Vault 22. And so, without a single line of dialogue, Old World Blues has been linked to both the main game and the side story of Randall Clark in the previous DLC, Honest Hearts. Old World Blues, marry me again! It's a wacky location with loads of zany characters, but its impact on the rest of the Fallout universe is so incredibly grim. Also, if you explore Little Yang... you will find a computer terminal that reveals Father Elijah from the first DLC was here too. And from his logs you can find out the Big Empty was where he first heard about the Sierra Madre, first realized that the other character we met, Christine, was following him, and found and tested the technology for the bomb collars he used on us.
Fashion. Turn to the left. Fashion.
Oh no.
At
That
the
is
very
a
beginning of
lonesome
Fallout
road,
New
isn't
Vegas,
it?
we can learn that we weren't actually the first choice to be the courier that would deliver the Platinum chip, aka the chip that was stolen from us and got us shot in the head at the start of the game. The delivery was supposed to be made by a different courier, but he saw our name next on the delivery list for the chip and insisted that we take it instead.
Yangtze means Lawn River.
From the divide, skins
Isn't there like a Yangtze River?
In Lonesome
Yangtze
Road,
River.
that courier named Ulysses
So
contacts
it's
us and
Lawn
tells us
River
to come
River?
find him at the Divide, which is a barren wasteland made up of mostly a long and destroyed road. He
It's the
promises
longest
that if
river
we do
in
this,
China.
he will finally reveal to us why he let us take his package. And don't take that out of context. Now, this has got to be my favorite setup of all the DLCs. Ulysses' decision to give us the Platinum chip at the start of the game sets up the entire plot of Fallout New Vegas, which is, to me at least, the greatest game of all time. On top of this, these DLCs have been continuously ramping up in quality as I've gone through them. So is this it? The exponential curve? The zenith of all Fallout creation?
No.
TKGames. The gameplay in this DLC is pretty good. See, as we cross the divide to reach Ulysses, we find loads of new enemies, locations, and weapons, including a laser that can blow up nuclear warheads to clear your path, and a rapid-fire rocket launcher. The new enemies are really difficult to kill too, which is fitting as this is effectively the final quest in all of Fallout New Vegas. The problem comes with this DLC's writing.
See, the first thing that happens is we get a new companion, Edie, and he's here to unlock doors for us as we travel around the map. Oh, hey, Edie. Didn't see you there.
Earlier in the main game, we find a similar companion, also called Edie.
Isn't
and while
it
this
Eddie?
new Edie is like that old Edie, it isn't quite the same Edie. What do you mean you're not the Edie I know?
And there we go. I'm completely confused again. Why are you so useless?
No, how can you be so confused?
Now where's it gone
Oh,
to?
no.
Ah, it's okay.
His brain is
I don't
gone.
need brain to words.
What's even worse is I think the writing in this DLC might be purposefully convoluted in order to sound more meaningful than it really is. For example, Ulysses contacts us every hour or so to chat, which should be great as we could get loads of interesting dialogue
Ulysses,
as we
isn't it?
travel.
Not
but
Ulysses.
he is absolutely no fun at all. Seriously, ask him any
You're
question.
stolen
Maybe
up.
he'll
It's
tell
not
me
jump
who you
spray.
are.
I'm a courier. Courier 6 was Courier 6. Like you, and not like you. In all the ways that...
Oh, fuck off! For the people at home not paying attention, Ulysses didn't actually
Ulysses
say
S.
anything
Grant.
there. And he has a full hour and a half of dialogue that is all exactly like this.
Exactly.
And every
Aw,
time
he
he
keep
refers to the
weeping.
NCR, he calls them by a different name. The bear, the two-headed bear, the NCR. You don't sound smart, Ulysses. You're just belaying the point. So as we cross the divide, Ulysses regularly talks to us.
He is a little
through Edie,
pretentious,
and it
isn't
isn't
he?
until we're near the end of the road that he reveals how he knows us. And oh boy, does it really boil my potatoes. See, before the events of the game, our character, as a courier, brought a package to the Divide, which at the time was a thriving city. Unknown to our character, this package had a detonator of some kind inside it. And after I left the Divide, it activated and detonated dozens of nuclear bombs that were unknowingly stored below the Divide, and everyone here died.
Oops.
So Ulysses brought us here because of something our character apparently did before the game even started, and is putting that blame on us, the player. Jesus, talk about being rigged from the start. Oh, gosh.
True.
Beautiful. Well, I've got some bad news
Beautiful.
for you, Owie.
Beautiful.
I didn't choose to do that. How am I supposed to feel connected to a plot twist that has absolutely nothing to do with anything I did? And what really gets me is that I have done so much of note since this game started. Why isn't this DLC related to any of that? I delivered the platinum chip. I killed Elijah. I met the burned man. I outsmarted the think tank. I did not go to the fucking Divide with some stupid fucking package and blow it the up. This beef with Ulysses, this setting, this entire story has nothing to do with anything we as the player have seen, done, or even heard of. Our character themselves.
Yeah, I do like how
don't
you
even
kill all
seem
the
to
Genie
remember it,
Mays.
Yet we're having it all imposed
Fuck
on us
Genie
like
May.
it was all our choice. As I said though, this DLC has a lot of great stuff going on outside of its story. It has loads of scripted set pieces, collapsing buildings, nuclear bombs going off. Its release even had to be delayed by a couple of months, and with so much going on, it's not surprising. Playing through it though, I get the sense Obsidian would have wanted even more time, mainly because there are some pretty big bugs here that many other people seem to encounter. The biggest issue I had by far is that Edie here simply didn't work at all. See, at the beginning of the DLC, I free him from this machine, but after that, he just hovers here frozen and doesn't follow me.
Eddie,
Now, I
no!
could just leave him behind, but unfortunately, I need him to open some locked doors for me. So what do? Well, after a little searching, I learned that I could just manually push Edie to every door he needed to unlock. Select to wait within
That's
the game
awful.
for a few hours, and then he would activate and unlock the door. But
That's
getting him working again
awful.
like this is only temporary. See, this Edie is supposed to follow you around at all times like the other Edie from the main game. But in this DLC, he's just never around. Every time you need him, you have to wait within the game for a few hours, and only then will he suddenly appear. To be honest, pretty much all of the technical problems I had with this DLC seem to relate to Edie. When you finish
Oh
the
no,
DLC,
Eddie,
for
no.
example, you get a load of extra slides that explain sort of what happens next in the story. But for me, all of the slides about Edie only played for a few seconds and then cut out. Look, here's an example. What? How was I supposed to read any of that?
Yeah.
Oh, Edie, what are you like?
Oh no. Up is that chip, are you okay?
To Ulysses, and he tells us he's going to destroy the entire Mojave with some extra nuclear bombs that he found here in the Divide. But of course, how does he describe switching on a nuclear bomb?
The Divide Giants are awakening.
Yes, man, please throw Ulysses from the dam. Regardless, I say one sentence to him, he changes his mind and joins me in the final battle. Why is this? Why is this? Honestly, though, throughout this DLC, Ulysses has come across a bit of a raving lunatic, so I think this choice may actually be in character. I then have to tell Edie to hack this terminal to stop the nuclear bombs from launching, but doing so will fry Edie's circuits and kill him. And you know, him doing this to me and then instantly exploding would be sad if I hadn't just spent the last 5 hours pushing him across the entire
That's true.
Divide.
I probably want him to die at that point.
DLC, right, Edie? Edie?
Oh no.
Wait. It was you who took my brain. Yeah, you're right, actually. This does look better than before.
Yeah. Beautiful.
And so it was, Up Is Not Jump finished the Fallout New Vegas DLC. And with guidance from Pip-Boy Father Elijah, he was able to take over the entire world. Edie continued to advise Up Is... Edie also found him, and I for one welcome our new YouTuber overlord. May his reign be long and without mercy.
Yeah.
Thank you all so much for watching. And if
You're
you enjoyed the video and
welcome.
would like to support the channel, the Absolute Nightmare box set is out and ready to ship now.
And I personally made every video in the almost 4 hours of content on the pen drive, wrote every word of the booklet, and helped design every aspect of the art featured.
Yes,
I have it all
good.
here with me, and it really is incredibly high quality. So don't delay, buy today. Oh my god, I can't believe I said that.
Don't delay. Buy today. Yay! Alright. But I think that's all we really have time for. I can't watch any more videos, so I guess I'll have to do this again sometime. Because I have more to watch. And I don't have time to watch it. Yes, and then there's the meme playlist. And you're working on 5 too. Oh my gosh. Ah! You posted one that is short? Okay, let me... Okay, we'll watch this and then we'll be done. Okay. Yeah! Go Luigi. Oh, Pyramid Head! Yeah, 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 yeah. Wee! Spin! Oh no! Spin! Aww! That's a really fluffy looking Raichu. How cute! Hey! Yay! Fun! Diggy diggy hole. Diggy diggy hole. Wait. No, it was... I said cancel. Why did it... well... okay. Alright. So that will be all for today. Let's see who is streaming right now. Oh, Grizz is playing more Half-Life. Or will it? Grizz is playing more Half-Life. You know I love Half-Life. Oh! She's like right at the end. Let's pop in there for the ending. All right. So that will be all for today. I will be back Friday with more Power Wash Simulator. Hopefully this doesn't get canceled again, because Power Wash Simulator keeps getting canceled, but I guess we won't know till Friday. But thank you so much for joining me. I had a blast today. And remember to shine your light in every world. Bye!